Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob. My name is Bob Babbitt, and we are at Clash Endurance Miami, and she is going to be a rookie here racing on the racetrack. Chelsea Sodaro joins us. How you doing, Chels?
I'm well, Bob. I'm super happy to be here with you, kicking off 2022.
This is going to be a unique year for you. You're going to do your first racetrack race, right? This will bring back your days of running the track, and you're going to do your first full Ironman this year too?
Yeah, that's the tentative plan. As you know, I had a baby last year,
Yes.
and I got a couple of race opportunities, but this weekend especially is very celebratory for me because I'm going to be a year postpartum, and I'm so happy to be healthy and feeling pretty fit, and I'm just hoping to carry the momentum from this race into Oceanside in a few weeks, and then Ironman Hamburg is the plan.
Well, Oceanside is going to be packed.
Yeah, it's always a loaded. It's always a loaded race.
Early the season, people want to maybe show some logos off and all that type of stuff. Because when I look back at your career, obviously, pro runner, national champion, contender for 2016 U.S. Olympic trials, and all that type of stuff. What moved you from that to triathlon?
Yeah, well, I had aspirations of qualifying for the Olympic team on the track, and
which distance? The 10K?
5K, 10K,
okay.
But I ultimately competed in the 10K at the trials in 2016, and I had, the worst possible day on the most important day, which was pretty devastating, and I was banged up. And
did you have injuries going in?
I did have some injuries going in. I had kind of convinced myself that I could pull it off, but you just can't fake it at that level.
No.
So I had become a fan of triathlon. I'm a huge endurance sports fan, and the American women leading into Rio were so competitive.
My God. Yep.
The racing
Gwen
was
Jorgensen, Katie Zafaris,
exactly.
everybody.
Sarah True. The racing is so dynamic, and so I had just become a fan. And my husband and I were actually watching the Olympics in 2016, and he said, I think you should try that. You cross-train so much. I bet you'd be pretty good at it.
So were you riding a bike and swimming at that point, or more of like an indoor cycling type of thing?
More of an indoor cycling type of thing. Yeah. I'm from Davis, so I grew up in the water, but I wasn't a good swimmer. So I joined a master's squad, and I started riding with my husband.
Yeah.
He's a really strong athlete, and I just got obsessed with the idea of triathlon, like so many of us do.
Yes.
And I ultimately joined an ITU squad, competed on the ITU circuit for a couple of years, and then found this longer stuff, which has really become my bread and butter.
So were you with Paulo?
Yep,
Sousa?
I was with the triathlon squad in San Diego.
So you were a Powegian.
I was a Powegian for a short period of time, yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is very cool. But when I look back again at your running career, I saw, 6 stress fractures?
Yeah, I was really riddled with injuries during my collegiate career. It took me a while to figure out how to be a healthy athlete at that level, how to take care of myself in that college environment. And I've kind of figured it out by my fifth super senior year at Cal, and was an All-American a few times, and decided to give the running thing a go after I graduated, because I felt like I had some unfinished business.
Exactly. And have you stayed healthier being a triathlete than you were as a runner?
I have. I really have. I think that, the 3 disciplines allows me to work on various strengths and weaknesses.
Yes.
And I've mostly stayed in one piece, which has been nice. And, there's so many different things to work on. So I don't spend as much time running as I used to, but
which is good.
Which I think is good. And I think I'm just a more robust, kind of resilient athlete now.
Coming back from having a baby, how fun and how tough has that been?
It's really been an adventure. When I was pregnant, I made this goal of qualifying for the Collins Cup.
Right.
And I was going to have to validate kind of my qualification at 4 months postpartum. So race is 70.3, 4 months after having my daughter in Boulder. And, on paper, when I thought about this, I thought that it'd be no problem.
4 months.
4 months. But of course, you don't really know what the experience of coming back from childbirth and all the sleep deprivation of having a newborn.
Right.
I think the emotional stress and toll that comes with having a very big, significant life change like that. It was a lot, and it really took a massive investment from my husband and my parents and my whole team, my coach, everybody really being on board and getting creative with how to get it done. And ultimately we did. We qualified for the Collins Cup when I was 4 months postpartum, and I raced there at 5 months postpartum, and I'm super proud. I hope that the PTO actually did this really beautiful video series on my journey in motherhood, and I hope that my daughter can look back and see what her mom did, and I hope she's proud of me. But
Well, you had the 6th best time there.
I
and
did.
you were second in your heat.
I did, yeah. It was a
So that's very cool.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a solid day, and I'm proud of that accomplishment. But I'm also excited to feel more like myself now, and
Right.
None of my competitors care that I'm a mom when I'm out there.
No, they want to hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a year, and you get to race on this cool track, which again
Exactly.
brings back memories to running in circles for a big part of your life.
Absolutely.
And the rest of this season will be what?
Yeah, so Oceanside after this, then Hamburg at the beginning of June, and we'll go from there.
Hamburg is just what people rave about Hamburg, and not just from the Ironman side, but the WTS race that's there in Hamburg always has like 50, 60,000 spectators, something crazy. It's nuts.
Yeah, I'm really excited, and of course, my team BMC is based in Europe, and so a lot of my sponsors are there,
Yep.
and I'm hoping that some of my people on my team from that side will be at the race as well. So it'll be a really fun day. Yeah.
So is the goal with Hamburg to potentially get to Kona this year?
Yeah, that's my ultimate goal. I'm really curious to see what I can do at Kona at that level. I've trained there a few times and I've spectated there,
Yes.
and that's the pinnacle of our sport, and so I want to see what I've got.
How in terms of this transition from the half to the full, just putting in all those hours, how tough has that been so far?
I have an amazing coach. His name is Dan Plus. He
Yes.
actually has the age group world record
Oh.
in Kona for the men.
Wow.
So he knows what he's doing. So I have a lot of trust in his
Right.
plan, his program for me. And we've had to take a gradual approach because I'm still, coming back from baby, but I have a lot of confidence in my training, and it's always fun to be a beginner too.
Is it hard to be away for that when you're doing those long bike rides, or you've been doing most of those indoors, so you're not too far away?
I do a combination of both, but I have really great support with my
Okay.
daughter, so I know she's well taken care of, and I think I miss her probably more than she misses me at this stage.
Yeah, and when you come out here and you're racing against, I was interviewing a woman from Denmark, she's 20, right? Baby, what are you talking about? When you're out here and you're a mom and you're racing against these young women, what goes through your head?
When you're having a good day out there, you're really just in the moment
Yeah.
and focusing on the little details of efficiency and getting yourself from point A to point B as
Right.
fast as possible. But I think that in those last couple miles of the run, when things get tough, I have, that extra piece of motivation and that little bit of mom strength that
Always have
that
that
I
mom
think,
strength. You
will
draw
serve
on
me
that.
well. Yes, exactly.
You draw on that. How have you had the change in terms of, are you doing more strength training, more flexibility in terms of, not just coming back swim, bike, run,
Mm-hmm.
but as somebody who's trying to improve as an athlete?
Sure. I work with some really, really smart people, and I think that that's one of the themes throughout my career is that, I think I have some talent and I have a great work ethic, but I'm also really good at connecting
And
with
listening.
people who can help me.
That's smart.
I think I'm pretty coachable, but I work with Sarah Tanza, who's a pelvic floor specialist,
Oh,
which is every woman who has a baby should invest in that, I think, if you
Yes.
can. And I also work with Dr. AJ Gregg, who's based out of Flagstaff, Arizona.
Right.
He trains a lot of like the running Olympians that are there.
Yes,
So
yes.
we work together on my strength program, and yeah, I have a lot of great people in my corner.
that is so cool. And so you said you've been to Kona before,
Yes.
watching,
Yes.
but obviously watching with the understanding that one day you want to be there.
Yes,
What have you
absolutely.
learned from watching that race?
Oh man, so much. I think that it's all about preparation. It's all about the details, and it's amazing to see the range of the talent that's out there,
Mm-hmm.
and like what it looks like to really hit it out of the park, and how much people are suffering,
Oh my God, yes,
out
yeah.
there, even at the highest level. So, I think it's about preparing for the heat properly,
Mm-hmm.
being dialed for that environment and that course. And yeah.
When I look at your 4:30 mile, 8:47 5K, 3K, 15:10 5K, that's the real deal. So I'm sure there's a lot of women out there who don't want to be getting off the bike with you in the same zip code. You look at that as your weapon?
I do look at that as my weapon. what I have worked on the last year, I would say, is really becoming a full triathlete.
Yeah.
And being able to rely on my swim, my bike, and my run. And I know that I always have that run in my back pocket. I think that I'm one of the best runners in the sport.
No
but
question.
as we've seen, this sport is really going to a new level now, and you have to be solid at all three. I think you have to be exceptional across the board.
Well, especially you coming off an Olympic year. So a lot of those Olympic athletes are now moving into this world.
Yes.
And it used to be, if there was a weakness for an Olympic athlete, it was the bike, but that's changed. Everybody, with the criterium sort of format they have for those races, everybody who's coming in is coming in with a skill set across the board. So you get to race those guys.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a super fun, dynamic race tomorrow. We have people coming from the longer side,
Yes.
from the ITU side, and yeah, we'll see where we all fall.
I love it. Chelsea, thank you so much. Congrats again on your little one.
Thanks so much, Bob.
Sky.
Sky, that's right. Yep.
Fun. And
Thanks.
when you come back from a workout that's not that great, it doesn't really matter, does it?
She doesn't really care how my workouts go. No.
No, she could care less.
She could care less.
I like
She's
it.
just happy mom's home. Yeah.
I love it.
Thanks.
Chelsea Sodaro has been a guest, everybody. Again, Breakfast with Bob. Hold on. We will be right back.